Alright, pick one. Would you rather build muscle or burn fat? Well, today we get to blow up the bulking cutting myth once and for all and do both at the same time. What's up, guys? Jeff Cavalier, AthleteX.com. Build muscle or burn fat. It's that word in the middle that's the problem, or. Because some people would make you think that you have to choose. That you either have to be focused on building muscle or focused on burning fat. Matter of fact, some guys have even commented on our channel that you can't do both at the same time because they require two completely opposite states, two completely opposite goals inside of our body, right, chemically. One, in order to build muscle, you have to be in some state of caloric surplus. And in order to burn fat, you have to be in a state of caloric deficit. That's wrong. Okay? If you do want to burn fat, you're going to have to be in a state of caloric deficit. But if you want to build muscle, you do not have to be in a state of caloric surplus. What you need to do is you need to be in, right here, positive nitrogen balance. One of the biggest ways we can do this, fastest ways that we can do this, is by increasing our protein intake. Okay, protein is going to be the only macronutrient that we take in that has nitrogen as a constituent inside of its chemical makeup. So this is where we get, now it comes, guys, without getting too much into the chemistry, really broken down into the amino acids, the constituents of the protein itself. This is where we get the benefits of protein because it's what's broken down into the usable form. That being said, positive nitrogen balance can be negatively affected here, where's my other pen, by overtraining. Because, I'll show you in a second, as we break down muscle tissue, we're going to be losing, obviously the protein is actually breaking down, we're losing nitrogen. Next, poor sleep. We become anabolic when we sleep. Okay, this is when protein synthesis occurs mostly throughout the day. And finally, we can get this from, again, inadequate protein in our diet. So how do we go to a state of burning fat but still being in positive nitrogen balance? Well, as I said, guys, it's going to depend mostly on these three things. So quickly, overtraining. Guys, I've stressed it all the time. If you're working out for an hour or more, you're working out too long. Okay, it's not necessary. You want to stimulate without annihilating. And I think a lot of guys, especially certain types of workouts these days that are popular, think that annihilation is the way to go. So much so that they can lead to even bad things like rhabdomyolysis and things in your muscles. Really bad stuff. Totally unnecessary to stimulate muscle growth. So you want to get away from that. Workout should be no longer than 40 minutes, guys. That's what we preach here at AthleteX. You want to, again, stimulate, not annihilate. Next thing, poor sleep. It's huge. Okay, you got to get your sleep at night, guys. This is, again, where you do all of your growth. What we do here in the gym is great for sparking the process, getting it ignited. But what you do here is actually where the process occurs. And you got to try to aim for good quality sleep. Thirdly, inadequate protein. If you think that you're going to get all the protein you need through your diet, that's fine. I agree that some people can do that. For me, it's never been a possibility for me. I'm on the run quite often. I have a busy schedule. Conveniently being able to find high quality protein, not crappy protein, guys, but high quality protein can become a challenge. So supplementation has always been key for me. Now, there's other benefits to supplementation as well. As you know, you can't say that you're going to get all the protein you need. I mean, if you're going to take creatine monohydrate, you're going to get it all through your diet. It's not going to happen, guys. Especially not to stay in a hypocaloric state to be able to burn fat too. Because if you think you're going to eat enough steak to get all the creatine you need, I can guarantee you ain't going to stay in a hypocaloric state for that long. Especially because most guys can't separate just eating the steak from usually eating the steak and potatoes that go with it. Okay, it's a meal. So that's not usually going to happen. So if you want to have the benefit of high protein, but you don't want to have all the other stuff that goes with it, supplementation becomes key. So we have a three-pronged approach. Stop overtraining, get your sleep, and take in more protein. Now, I'll share with you a quick study. There were 3 groups of guys, all at 27% body fat. One of them did no training at all. They just had a hypocaloric diet, 80% of what they normally would take in. So 20% less than what they normally would take. The second group took in the same amount, 80%, but they worked out and they had 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight of whey protein. And the third group did the same exact thing what they did with casein. The interesting thing, body fat dropped in all 3 groups, right? They should. They're on a hypocaloric diet. The group that was taking whey protein, they dropped by about 4% body fat. The group that was taking the casein protein, this is a 12-week period, guys, they dropped by about 6 to 8% body fat. So much more significantly than the control group, diet alone, 2% body fat drop. Now, lean muscle mass gains, again, nothing in the control group. They didn't do anything. They didn't work out. The guys that were working out, supplementing with casein, those guys put on around 6 to 7 pounds of lean muscle mass, and the guys that were doing it with whey, they put on a little bit less than that, but right around 4 pounds. So, what's the moral of all this? The moral is, guys, that forget the guys that tell you have to bulk and then cut. It's straight nonsense. If one thing I've been preaching here on this channel for now 4 years is that you can absolutely build muscle and burn fat at the same time. Matter of fact, guys have been watching me lately have commented and said that, Jeff, you seem to have added muscle, you seem to have gotten leaner. It's true. I've done that. I said I started to do it when I was training for zero, and it's continued here. Guys, it's an ongoing process. Now, does it happen overnight? No. It's a slower process. It's a slower process, but you don't have to look bad half the year either. Right? The guys that talk about bulking and cutting, half the year they look like shit, the other half of the year they look, they look like they're in good shape. If you train Athlete X, right, with us in this way, you're going to look great year round, and that's what we're really after, and that's the most important thing. So again, start focusing on getting into positive nitrogen balance, getting into a caloric deficit if you need to lose body fat. If you don't have to follow this part, guys, okay? If you're a hard gainer, you stay here, you're going to build muscle. I hope, guys, that helped to dispel this myth and, sort of take this all and put it in perspective. It sort of formed the whole foundation of what the Athlete RX supplement line has been about. We have casein protein. It's a valuable constituent. It's a slower acting protein. We put it into our nighttime recovery. We have whey protein. It's actually in both. It's a fast-acting 1-2 punch with the casein in the nighttime muscle recovery, and also right away in our post-workout. High-quality protein, guys, stripping away all the other stuff. Low calories. If you look at any of our formulas, it's not about packing them full of 300, 400 calories, but just giving you the stuff that you need. This is sort of my secret. Again, whatever works for you is good, but this is where you need to be. Positive nitrogen balance. Guys, I'll be back again next week. If you found this helpful, make sure you leave your comment below and a thumbs up, and we'll be back in the gym for more workouts the next time I see you.